You got to be in the sun. When the sun comes out, it's important for you to run out and let the sun shine in. There is never a time where the sun shining on you is a terrible thing. Meaning, you'll never hear anyone say, I was so unhappy that the sun was shining on me. It's always wanted, it's always loved, and it's true. Most bad days start with it was rainy or it was cold, and that gives it an added extra layer of bad. But sun always makes it just a little better. And whenever the sun comes out, I run to jump into the sun because I love the glow that the sun gives my skin. And we all look better in the sun. We all look better after some time in the sun. No one ever says you look terrible, you look like you've been in the sun. It's always, you look healthy. Did you take a vacation? Okay, so update about the dog. Oh, thank you, Jay. And thank you for asking, because Jay was in my live yesterday where I went for my sexy walk, because I always go for my sexy walk, because if you're going to do anything, you got to make it sexy. But I'm the one, I like do this with my arms, like you see. I like do this with my arms on my sexy walk. And there was this cute little dog weaving in and out of traffic. It almost got ran over a few times. So some of the neighbors attempted to get the dog, but they couldn't. The dog wouldn't go to anyone, and it just came to me and leaned up against my leg. It was just attracted to me. So I said, okay, let's try to find the guardian, not the owner, the guardian of this dog, because you're just the guardian. You don't own it. It's there. You're exchanging love. It's a part of the family. But I like to say guardian. And it had a collar, but the collar didn't have a name tag. If you have an animal, this is the PSA. Ensure your animal has a collar with its name tag, with a phone number, with its name. Because this happens. And if your dog runs out, it's very easy, and people will call the number. No one's going to say, oh, here's the number I'm not going to call. People call it. But if it's not there, that's the only course of action to take to get it back to its guardian. So get your animal's name tags and have them microchipped, because the dog had a collar, but it had no name tag. And I walked around to the local cul-de-sacs to see, like, is this someone's dog? Is this anyone's dog? I asked a friend for a leash. I would want someone to do this with my dog. And so I had the dog on a leash. I walked around to maybe 2 other cul-de-sacs to see if it had escaped from any of those houses. And it looked like a blend of a Pomeranian and a Rottweiler, like really cute and small, but the markings of a Rottweiler, that black and that brown, but a Pomeranian. It was so cute. And I ended up taking it home with me, but I'm with my parents. And my mom was like, girl, you can't have this dog here. I'm like, okay, I know that, Mom, but it's in the backyard. And I'm attempting to find its owner. So I went on to Nextdoor. This is all stuff you just learn. I want the dog to get back home. And I went on Nextdoor, which is annoying. I've never used Nextdoor. I mean, traveling the world, it's not that I don't care about my neighbors. My neighbors are great. I talk to them. I just don't care what's going on in the neighborhood. That has no effect on my life at all. And people are annoying. I posted the picture on Nextdoor and said lost dog. And my expectation would be that I would get a response of, oh, here's the owner. Most of the responses were like, cute dog. That's too bad. I hope you find the owner. Like, just tell me when you're the owner. Just tell me what I know it's cute, but all of this is meaningless. And, but that was my due diligence to get the dog back to its rightful guardian. So I have the dog. It's in my parents' backyard. A friend has given me a leash. A friend has given me dog food and a bone. They made some doggy treats, so they gave that to me because my sister has cats. I know, next door is really annoying. That's what you do when you just like don't have anything else to do. What a boring life. Like, what? I'm not going to take time to type on that thing about my life ever. So no one responded from the next door yet. And then I took the dog to a pet store to see if it had the chip. Here is the other thing. Say thank you, Susan, for the follow. Have the collar and get the microchip because it's so useful in an instant like this. Yeah, and that's okay. I'll take that. If it helps me locate the dog's guardian, I don't care. I'm not putting that much energy into it. I notice it, but after that, I let it go. I don't allow something to continuously really bother me. I accept it. Yeah, they're annoying, but the goal is to find the rightful guardian for this dog, and so I can accept that. I just don't pay attention to it. I am not the owner. The dog just came to me. It was like just wandering around. So I picked up the dog. I walked it around the neighborhood to see if it was familiar. I brought it back to mine. There was no name tag to call, and so I took it to a pet store to see if it was microchipped, which is the next best thing. Get your animals microchipped. It wasn't microchipped, so now there's no way really to locate the dog. In fact, I don't even know if most people would do these things. I would hope they would, but to bring a dog home, to try to see if there's a collar, to put a lost and found ad on Nextdoor, to take it to a pet store to see if it's chipped. I would expect someone to do this, but I don't know. My mom is like, take it to the pound, just take it to the pound, which I understand that too. I don't see either as better or worse. They're equal. My mom believes why do you even have it? Just take it to the pound. No one uses technology like that. And she's right, for her. That's not incorrect for her, and there's other ways. So it wasn't, I said, oh, let me finish. So thank you. It's glowing because I'm in the sun. That's why I entitled this, Let the Sun Shine In. When the sun comes out, I gotta shine, baby. I mean, we look better in the sun. We just feel better in the sun. Everyone does. No one ever says, oh, I hate the feeling of the sun on my skin. No one says that. They say they hate the cold, they hate the snow, they hate cold rain, but you never hate some sunlight. Sunlight just makes you feel good, and it's one of life's joys. So thank you. Right. So I took the dog that I was just calling dog to the pet store. It wasn't chipped. The lady was like, well, that's your new animal. I was like, no, it's not. My mom said no. I can't, and I'm not. You choose what's important. I'm doing my best to find the owner, and I will. I'm I'm positively expecting the greatest outcome for this situation. That's it. I'm doing my best, and it will work out the best for me and the dog. And on the way back to my parents' house, I decided to hop out of the car and like walk around with the dog and ask people, does this dog look familiar? Because I saw a piece of content, I think it was from the Kennel Club. The American Kennel Club stated that most dogs are only 1,000 feet away from their home. So whenever you find a dog, it's no more maximum 1,000 feet away from its home. It's in its relatively close area. So another way to help is to just ask people, do you recognize this dog? Dog walkers are recognized. You know people and their dogs. I can do it on the way home. It's not inconveniencing me. I'm already going back this way. I will hop out. I like to talk to people. This is all great. And the coolest thing is, every house I was stopping in front of was 444 or 444. Like almost every house. It was crazy. Because I said, let me just hop out here. And I would look and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. This address is 444. Okay, wow. And I would walk around and ask people, do you recognize the dog? Okay, this is Suburbia Things. The gardener is here. So you'll just have to bear with it. The gardener has to come. Because I like gardening for fun, but I would never do it. Like my dad would never make us mow a lawn. Get a gardener. And I love a gardener. I love a well taken care of backyard and front yard. I'm not going to do it. I gladly pay someone to do it. And it's useful. Yeah, I'm not going to mow. Although maybe it's a good workout. I've been thinking about that. So that's what happened with the dog. I went out. If people were outside, I just said, hey. Yeah, very therapeutic. It is therapeutic. That's why I picked these oranges. I picked some oranges. In fact, I picked some oranges from the tree. And I will make some orange juice. And that's the greatest thing. My dad always carried a pocket knife because he would go fishing and he would hike. And it's useful to cut the fishing line. If the fishing line gets snagged, to open a package of peanuts or raisins, you have scissors. So my dad always had a Swiss Army knife, and it's useful. So I found this really useful tool, and it's almost like my dad's Swiss Army fishing knife, but better because it has a hammer and everything. And it's useful because then I can just pick these oranges and cut them and juice them. And the best thing is this juicer. Like, this is the best thing, especially for one person, because I don't need to juice like 50 oranges. I have 5 oranges and I will juice them into this. And then I have my fresh juice. But electric juicer, I have those. In fact, I do have those. I have everything because my mom has the most well-stocked kitchen. She has every Cuisinart, every juicer, every food processor, every high-speed blender. Like, there's nothing you can't make. But the usefulness of just cutting an orange and then you put it in this juicer. Okay, sometimes they're too big, but you squeeze it right into the mason jar. And you have your fresh juice. And the smell of citrus is always happy. Like the Clinique fragrance. I know there's ladies in here who know the distinct smell of Clinique Happy fragrance because the prominent note in that fragrance is orange. And sweet orange peel has been documented to bring feelings of well-being, joy, happiness, and laughter. So anything like citrus will bring that feeling. Sometimes you'll just have a glass of orange juice and you'll feel happier. It's simply from the smell of the citrus and the oils. Okay. So I'm just going to juice as I go. Okay. Juice sip by sip. You know, it's a good life. Some orange juice in the sun. I feel great. My mom also got, my mom just shops. She just shops. And I buy things that I want, and I only buy what I want. I will not, it's not about price. This is what I want. However, I buy well-made things, and I donate things often. However, I don't need to shop on a daily basis. I really only buy things that are necessary when they are necessary. But I'm welcome to however you shop. And my mom got this rosé sparkling Martinelli's juice because I love sparkling Martinelli's apple cider. And this is rosé. So as they say, rosé all day. What's up, Elio Lawrence? Hi, Danielle. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy the sun. So I walked around and I asked people if they recognized the dog. And no one recognized the dog. And I found this home with this beautiful citrus tree because citrus is all in season right now. It is a winter fruit and it is delicious. I know, Boston, blah, leave. You know you can leave, right? You do not actually have to stay. You do not have to stay. And that's why I don't believe people, because living in cold places, when I lived in DC or when I lived in London or when I lived in Jersey, definitely when I lived in New York, will say, oh, this is so cold. I hate this cold. But you don't do anything about it. It's not enough to complain about it. Do something. Okay. I actually said, yeah, that's not for me. I never want to feel that. And life is better because of it. You can move. You can move. Do you know how great life is when the sun is out in December? And yes, there's always the people that say, I like the winter. I do. You have never experienced life without it. Try it. Like, try it before you come and defend the bitterly cold. Try it. It's amazing. And it's just amazing because you are more active in a pleasant climate. And when you're active, you just feel better. Whenever you're sitting more, it has no benefit to your body. That's right, Free Bird. I better be. Thank you. And I know. And I feel even better than I look, okay? So I walked around with the dog. No one recognized the dog. And I went to this house who had this abundant lemon tree on the side of their house. And I saw a guy in front and I was like, sorry, pardon me, have you seen this dog? He was like, hold on, hold on. And he had no understanding of English. He said, hold on. Traveling the world as a flight attendant, I'm very used to these situations, so I'm never uncomfortable. I often see that people are uncomfortable when someone has no knowledge of their native language, and that's okay. However, you don't, there's other ways to communicate that are outside of verbal communication. So he said, hold on. And he called his sister. And he called his sister, what's up, Charles Graves? And put her on speakerphone and said, ask this woman a question, and handed me the phone. And I said, hi, I'm just in the neighborhood wanting to know if anyone has seen this dog. I saw this dog running earlier today, and it was in this vicinity. And then I handed the phone back to the guy, and she recited what I said in the native language. And then he said, oh, okay. He looked at the dog and he recited something back to his sister. And then he handed me the phone. And she said, oh, no, he thinks there's someone 2 doors down that has a small dog like this, and they may be able to help you. You see, all from this little question. So we're getting somewhere. And the beauty is just the will to, the ultimate goal is to locate the dog's guardian. This is just what comes with it. So this isn't a nuisance. This isn't a problem. This is like, ooh, this is almost like a mystery. How are we going to get there? And using skills like this is something that I would have done as a flight attendant, because most of the time I wasn't a native speaker of where I was. I can speak enough of wherever I go. However, that's a skill. And communication is a skill. And the comfort with talking to someone. What's up, 1%? I'm glowing in the sun. I'm glowing for you, okay? I do this for you, and I mean that. And me and my friend would say, when we would be in our tiny bikinis on some foreign beach, we would say we were doing a service. This was like what we were giving back to the world. We were supposed to shine and oil our body in foreign coconut oil and allow the presence of our beauty to be seen. And that's just the service that you do. So, me and the gentleman are now walking 2 doors down to the house that he believes has a small dog. These dogs need to be walked. They really need to be walked. Like, they're not walked. Dogs have to get out and roam. But anyway. We walked to the house, and as I walked up to the house, I saw it was remodeled. It was beautiful. And there is a sign to the right of the door that says, almost everyone is welcomed. And I'm like, that's good, because not everybody is most people ain't welcome at my house. Like, most of you mofos will never come to me. You have too weird of energy. And it's the beauty of, like, your home is an extension of you. Do not allow the presence of others easily. Be aware of who you allow in your home, and that's in your presence. That's just who you speak to every day, because it can make all the difference. That is her natural color. Is that a question or a statement? So as we approach the door, I see this, there's a beautiful remodel that I notice. I love architecture. Beautiful sign that says almost everybody is welcome, and double doors, which I love. I love a grand entrance. In fact, my home, I love the door that slide in, you don't gotta walk. Like it's not even a door, you slide it. I see it. I have a very distinct design taste, but slide the door. Like it doesn't open, it slides. And I ring the doorbell, and a woman comes out, and she has some yappy dog, like yap, yap, yap. These little dogs love to have their presence known. What's up, Betty? And it's not even that they're little. I think a dog spirit isn't littled by its size. And that's what humans have mistaken. You limit power by size, and power is just power. It's not more of because of a larger container or less of because of a smaller holder. Power is just power. And the woman says hello, and I said, hi, I am going around and asking if anyone has recognized this dog. And this gentleman said that you have a small dog, or you would recognize this dog. So this is the dog. Do you recognize it? And she says, no, I don't, but my dog was a rescue. My dog was a lost dog, and I kept it. So I love lost dogs, but no, I don't recognize it. And I said, okay. And she said, yeah, I've fostered dogs as well. I've had some dogs that I've fostered, and then I gave them to the Humane Society. But I will keep the dog until a proper home is found. I said, that is great. That's the reason why. Okay, that's why I was led to you. She said, I don't recognize the dog, but let me know what happens. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Are you open to this? I'm going to go, because the sun hasn't set yet. I'm going to look around for like an hour more and just ask people if they recognize the dog. But if they don't, I can't keep this dog at my house. My mom already said, girl, you got to take that dog to the pound. My mom is like cold-hearted. She was like, why you still even got the dog? Take the dog to the pound. I don't see that as negative. I also understand that's a way of thought. She's not aware of like next door or other ways. And plus, I don't listen. She has a cold heart, a full heart, but cold. And I said, I can't keep it at my house. Are you open to keeping the dog overnight? She said, absolutely. I have a huge house. I have a backyard, and I'm absolutely comfortable with watching the dog. I said, okay, how about this? I will leave it overnight. What is your schedule tomorrow? She said, I am a school psychologist at the local high school. So I usually come home for lunch for like an hour, and I'm back home. I leave in the morning around 8, and I'm back home around 4. I said, okay, how about I message you at 4, and I come back around 4 to take the dog. What's up, the movie, poetically? I take the dog again and ask people, and I'll see if something has came through next door, but it will stay in your possession. She said, I'm absolutely okay with that. And I said, okay, great. So I walked around, and I came back, and I dropped the dog with her. And the dog ran out, because the dog loves me. The dog, as she was closing the door, the dog ran out. I was like, oh, the dog loves me, but you can't stay with me. I can tell you that. I am not going against what my mom says at all. Plus, why would I? The dog just can't stay. This lady's going to fall in love with the dog. So that's where the dog is currently. And it's all working out. So I believe that she has fallen in love with the dog. and no one else has reached out about the dog. Thank you, me Vance 21 Skin. I do. It's because I live a great life. I am grateful. I am grateful for life every day. You have to be grateful. And I'm not grateful for things. I'm just grateful for the experience. Everything I'm just grateful for. If I'm walking, I'm grateful for the walk. If I'm taking a bus, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful. That shows, and that's a part of enjoying what this experience can be. Instead of I'm only happy and grateful when I receive praise from others. No, I praise myself. I don't, this cat always comes and like drinks my water. This time it stayed away from my apple juice. Yeah, that is, I, there is an art to a beautiful life, but it starts with like, what, there is an art to a beautiful life, but it starts with like, what are you enjoying it? Because if you're not enjoying life, what would make you life? Just start there. If I'm not enjoying my life, what could I do today to enjoy my life? Could I just imagine being by a pool? Could I imagine like working in a different field? Could I imagine moving into a bigger house? What would it be? But if you don't have even the idea of what it would be, you can't even allow yourself to create a path there because you don't even know what you want. What does a nice, comfortable, non-lack life feel like? What does it feel like not to worry, not to second guess yourself, to just feel healthy within yourself, to feel uplifted and relaxed and calm? What would that feel like? How would your life change? And your mother is Fly, Reginald McLean, 31. She's a stylish woman if she has this colored hair. I can assure you of that. Kudos to your mama. There's a happiness. Thank you, Connie, Aries White, for the follow. There's a confidence in just being happy with you. Like what you're seeing is just, I'm just happy with me. That's just it. I like everything I do, and I chose to do it. If I chose to do something because I thought someone would like me, that may have a different feeling. Or if I chose to do something because my parents said, this is the way to do it, but it's not what I want, parents said, this is the way to do it, but it's not what I want, this may not be the same feeling. But when I ended my live yesterday with, you have to be bold, you have to be bold. But what do you want? And once you know what you like, what you want, what your life is, be bold about it because it's your life. People aren't going to get it. They're not supposed to. Get over that. That's whack that you even allow that thought of they don't like me. They said this isn't cool. They said I will fail. People, I don't listen to theys or somebodies. When people say, oh, somebody told me this, I don't know who they are. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't listen to they said I wouldn't like it here. Who are they? I don't care about they. I care about me. Why do I need to care about what they thought of something? Thank you, Tim. I love my top too. That's why I put it on. It reminds me of like a not a BMX, but like a cycling top. I said BMX because I was thinking of biking, but like cycling. Those cyclers that do like 200 miles a day. Um, in Maui, there's a lot of those, and I would see them biking up my trail. And that also is a very wealthy leisure activity. Yeah, like a triathlon top. Yeah. And I had told this nurse I was talking to this nurse about me doing a triathlon because that is what I'm going to do. I will sign up this year. And I thought initially I'll do a half triathlon. But if you're going to do it, you just do it full out, like the full on triathlon. But she has a triathlon training team. And what's up, Nisha? What's up, girl? You can choose a category, and I would do the running, and I would do the swimming. Like I would do the swimming in a triathlon. Relay, so everyone takes a different category, because swimming would be the most challenging for me, because I don't know how much, what is it, 100, it would be more challenging than cycling 100 miles or running 100 miles. Swimming for that amount, that length, I'll do it. It will just be the most challenging. And yeah, this top reminds me of this. I do love my bikes. I do love my bike. The bike gives you the best body. Biking and swimming, because swimming's the best, because it's great for everything and it's so low impact. It's great for your joints. The water impact is great, whether it's in a pool or whether it's in a lake, whether it's in an ocean. There's also that calming element of water, and how we associate the smell of like chlorine. I know, I love swimming too. I'm right next to my parents' poolside, and it's like a happiness center for me, because me and my sisters, all four of us, would be splashing around in this pool, and we would be playing. Thank you, Nathaniel Tilford 186 for the roses. We would be splashing around in the pool, playing Marco Polo, like Marco Polo. And I remember my sister, like, you have to peek at some time. But my little sister was like, Marco, 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 boom. And she ran into like the side of the pool and like busted her eye. I said, Sam, why didn't you open how did you not feel the side of the pool was about to be there? I'm best at everything I do. I don't put that label, Tim. I'm best at everything I do. I did not say there's nothing that I'm not the best at. What I said was I can do it all. One would be the most challenging. Remember that. That is even how people lower themselves. You could be, or you could just be the best at all of them, all the time. Why not? Why not? So cycling, especially when I travel, I love a bike. This is what I don't really care about any part really of the US outside of Hawaii. There is, I'm never competing because I'm always the best. Don't you understand the change in perspective? That is saying that someone is better than you in the sport. I'm just going to assume that I'm great at it. However, I would train like I am, and I would expect to be. I love to cycle and walk where I live. And the US isn't walkable outside of A truly walkable city would be true San Francisco or true New York City. Yes, Philadelphia is walkable. Yes, DC is walkable. Yes, Chicago is walkable. There's all of that. However, when I say the most walkable, New York, you can walk and have anything 24 hours a day. In any other city, you're going to be slightly limited. In that sense, New York is the most liveliest city 24 hours a day. And I've been to every major city several times. It just is. Even if you're like in Berlin or London, everything is closed on Christmas. There's absolutely no way everything will be closed on Christmas in New York. But because of that, I like to walk, I like to cycle, and I like that element of, okay, I can do what I need to do without restriction of a car. And easily that was done in London. And I would sometimes try to use my American accent to get out of paying my bus fare. So this was like, I moved to London in 2008. So this was before Google Maps, really any of the social media apps, because it was before 2010. But I would take this bus, the 25 bus in London. Yes, it always says Tim. And you could use your Oyster. You use your Oyster card to tap on the touchpad to pay your fare. Now, on the Bindi buses, it was two long buses attached by like an accordion style attachment, so the bus could bend, and it was extra long, so you could get in the front with the bus driver, or in the middle, or at the back. And thank you for the follow, Blessy 009. And thank you for the follow, Yona, Waya, Lovin, Bearwolf. You could get in anywhere, and you could get in without touching the touchpad to pay for your fare. And so I could take this. I'm in the country of happiness, goodness, abundance, and a well-lived life. Yeah, with some fresh oranges too. Gotta have the fresh oranges. You gotta invite the sun in. Thank you, Paul. Even if you are in cold Boston, as someone said earlier, go have an orange today and just imagine that sunshine from the orange. Do something to just recognize yourself in the day. Yeah. I am in the great nation of California. There she is, Mag. And when I started this off with, you don't have to stay there, like saying, oh, it's so cold in Boston. If you've been there 20 years, you've had 20 chances to leave. And it can be enough to just say, I don't want to be here anymore. This is too cold for me. You can leave, and it's a much better life. And I can operate anywhere. I just am my best in the sun, in warm weather. How warm? I'm specific. You gotta get specific. I grew up in a very hot, dry climate, 110, 115, intense heat. West Africa has a bit more humidity, but even Middle East heat, I don't need it that hot. What's scary? When you say it's so scary, what you're saying is, I can't do it. It will be scary and you will do it. Why is scary the end of you leaving? It doesn't matter what the situation is. What are you going to do about it? The situation will always be the situation. The situation will accept that it's the situation. And what are you going to do about it? I don't limit my creativity of a solution because of the situation. It's just a solution. And it's the ability to also know you're learning in every moment. So there's something for you to learn in that difficult moment. And even saying, I'll say out loud, I am so thankful for what I'm learning in this moment. I may not understand it now, and I'm growing, and there's something for me to learn in this. Okay, why? So what? What do you mean it doesn't work out? What I'm saying is you're already predicting what you don't want to happen to happen. I don't know what people want. What people want is not even in my thought process. I will never be able to have the thoughts of another person. For me to even say everyone wants easy, well, you don't know everyone. And in a kind and compassionate way, I will never know anyone's thoughts. I only have my thoughts and my perception of what others think. I don't know. I don't know. And the trick is just to know that what I want will work. I'm not going to expect it not to work. And when something happens, I know I have everything I need. I have the solution. I have the knowledge to solve anything in any moment during my life. That's it. So in that case, if it doesn't work out, I don't have a plan B. There is no plan B. It's always plan hope. I will figure it out. And I trust myself. And I've proven it to myself. And you have too. You have just outdated versions of yourself that you're comparing yourself to. That's not you. And you learn in life. Even saying, this is what happened, I failed, that's why I won't do it. No, you didn't fail. You learned something from it. And that's why when you do it again, the outcome will be different. It's nothing of, I'm expecting it to go wrong. I'm expecting it to just happen. But I know everything I can figure out when it happens. That's it. Start thinking more of yourself, because what you're saying is, I don't even think I can do it. Essentially, you're saying you don't trust yourself, which most people don't. And if you don't trust yourself, it really makes life hard. Because if you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your decisions. And if you don't trust your decisions, all life is a series of decisions every moment of the day. So if you don't even trust your decisions, I'm going to make the wrong decision. It's not going to work out. I never make the right decision. I need to ask someone else so they can validate the decision I'm going to make. That's what your life is. But when you actually trust, I make good decisions. I make great decisions. I trust myself. I make this decision. I move forward. That's it. Life is a lot easier. It's a series of decisions. Am I waking up? What am I going to eat? What toothpaste am I using? What am I wearing? Am I going to respond to this? It's a series of things. But it's you. It's nothing else outside of you. And I have this belief of this magicalness that every human possesses, that I saw traveling. Really, being a flight attendant for 15 years, I'm an anomaly, but I'm also, it's a beautiful experience that most can't really conceive of, because I never wanted to work in an office, because I worked in my dad's office. And I was like, this is for the birds. Like, I don't want to keep coming here with this fluorescent light and people standing over here by this nasty coffee, like office gossip. Why the hell would someone choose to do this for their life? Heck no, man. It's different when your daddy is the owner, but if my daddy's not the owner, I ain't doing this. It's not for me. So thank you for the follow, Joseph Parker 6205. So working in my dad's office was beautiful because there's that element of working with family is terrible, except my dad. My dad is a good stand-up. He taught me true business, which is integrity, and most people don't have it. Most people are easily bought, but I understand why. Money is a concept that most people are under a spell. So I don't blame people. It's part of like a power of being a leader, and sometimes these things can be intoxicating. However, my dad always had integrity. And my sisters would lie on their time cards. And I was like, you rotten scoundrels, why would you try to defraud our employer? You're trying to defraud our employer. It's dead. You got to be honest. You put in extra hours on your time card, and I'm going to tell Dad. I was the whistleblower. You got to understand, I'm going to snitch on you. Don't do it in front of me. Don't do it in front of me. And so that's when I learned not everyone that you work with is going to be honest on their time card or have that same outlook. And my dad would always say, you go to work to work. You don't go to work to be friends. You can get along with everyone you work with, but the expectancy to meet and have friends in the workplace, leave that. Those aren't your friends. And I always carried that. I can get along with anyone in the world. However, I always go into the workplace knowing these aren't like people that I truly will express my thoughts to. I mean, we could have a coffee or things of this nature, but I don't even see myself here this long, and I'll enjoy this time, but I'm not looking at this with the expectancy of it being a lifelong friendship. Some of them are, most of them aren't. And so in that regard, I don't take people I work with that with any other expectancy or expectation. And so I never went to work in the office. And my dad would always say smokers are the most expensive employees because he says they go take a smoke break every 15 minutes. They go outside to take a smoke break. That's 2 hours of unworked work. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Yeah, because you have your breaks. They're scheduled breaks. However, because you're a smoker, you actually will in the US, you're costing your company more because your health is terrible and you are just taking more breaks, which you have a lower productivity. So I learned that from my dad. And I remember there was this woman, and she was so pregnant, and she would smoke from my dad. And I remember there was this woman, and she was so pregnant, and she would smoke every day. And I was like, whoa. It was the first time I had saw that. I never saw someone like full belly smoking every day. And that just taught me the choice. You always have the choice, and addiction is serious. And addiction affects a lot of people. And the lack of understanding of addiction, because it's prevalent. Alcohol addiction, other addictions. and I learned just the presence of addiction. So, didn't want to work in an office. Um, and what else did we do? We would have to work the phones and lick envelopes, and then just typical office stuff. And then I worked my way up to, I named it office technician. I was the head secretary. I was the office management technician. It's better. It's, it's the same thing, but everything is made up. Make up a different name. Thank you, Gerald, for the follow. So I worked my way up, and I was also a makeup artist, which I love, because I loved makeup and I loved cosmetics and I loved the ingredients that went into cosmetics, and I loved notable makeup artists, Kevin Aquan, just notable makeup artist, Kevin Aquan, just that element of beauty. And so I was hired by Macy's to work at the benefit counter. And I never was able to work in high school because my parents always said, your job is school. If you need anything, you can ask us. What do you need? You don't have to work. We're your parents. We'll give it to you. We'll buy it for you. Your focus is school and studying and to learn. So no job. And all my friends had jobs. So I went out and got a job at Mimi's Cafe. And this is when I was like a senior in high school. And I told my dad, I was like, I got a job at Mimi's Cafe. He's like, okay, you can go right back there and tell them that you're quitting because you're not working there. And it wasn't, it was kind of embarrassing, but it was like, man, I thought he would budge, but he didn't. He was like, you can drive yourself right on back and tell them, sorry, my dad said I'm not working here. So that's what I did. And that's what also makes me tough. I take big chances because I'll figure it out. I've told the story about my senior prom, which I actually wasn't supposed to go to. Apparently, I was grounded, but if you're grounded, you can't get more grounded. So I don't care. I'm a rebel. I'm going to do what I want. And I got everything together. So I wasn't supposed to go to the prom, but I went to the prom. And I think I told my boyfriend at the time, I have everything scheduled. We're just going to meet at the restaurant, right? So the day of prom, it's a Saturday. And I tell my parents that I am going to plant trees around the city I live in. And my mom's like, oh, okay. Well, it sounds like something I would do. My dad was like, that girl ain't going to plant no trees. He knew that it was prom. So I said I was going to plant trees. But what I was actually doing was I had my hair appointment. Thank you, Renejo Lac Insil, for the follow. I had my hair appointment first. I had already bought a dress. My dress was at my friend's house. It was pressed and ready. My accessories, everything was already at my friend's house. So I had my hair appointment, got my hair done. Then I had a makeup appointment, got my makeup done. And thank you, Vermaru06 for the follow, and Donald Hook J for the follow. So after my hair appointment and while I was at my makeup appointment, this was in 2002. So this is when we had like Nokias, if you had it. Not everyone had a phone, but my friend had a phone. I didn't have a phone. I think I had a pager, but I don't know. So as we're getting our makeup done, my dad calls my friend's phone. And my friend Sarah picks up like, hello? And he's like, let me talk to Hope. She's like, Hope, it's your dad. From that moment, I was like, he already knows. Like, I'm just as cunning and conniving as my dad. He already knows everything. I'm already caught. I already know I'm caught. If my dad is calling my friend's phone to talk to me, he already knows everything. He's always like 3 steps ahead. He's a pilot, he's an aviator, he's shop. And thank you for the rose, Jerome Davis. Jerome Davis gave me a rose. So he calls and he's like, Hope, once you're done planting trees, you need to come home. I said, okay. Hung up. I was like, he already knows. So we just got to do it. I just got to go. What am I going to do now? Just go home? No, you didn't come this far to come this far. Okay. So makeup done, hair done, dressed, nails done, shoes on, looking fly, get in the limo, go to the restaurant. Thank you. Thank you. I know I do. I feel even better than I look, Donald. We meet at the restaurant. I meet my date. My friend meets her date. We eat. We leave from the restaurant in the limo. Now, I already know that my dad knows. I don't know anything more than that. But I have determined that I'm still going to go to prom because I'm not going to not go to senior prom. I don't care to go to prom because I'm not going to not go to senior prom. I don't care, grounded. I do what I want. So we get to prom, and maybe 30 minutes in, somebody comes up to me. They're like, hey, Hope. I was like, what's up? Thank you, Vape DXST. They were like, Hope, your daddy is here. Your dad's over there talking to the principal. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, I came to tell you. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, my dad. And you have to understand, this is why I've had such a great life. I did this. My dad came to prom, was talking to the teachers, talking to the principal, like, where is Hope? She's not even supposed to be up here. She's not. So people tipped me off. So I was like, yo, where's my date? Hey, come over here. We went. I said, I got to take these pictures because I got to get the picture. So we went. We took the picture, with the little corsage, took the picture, and then I got in someone's car and came home. If my dad, I've already been caught because I also put pillows in my bed. So it looked like my body was there, but it was me there. It was ridiculous. So I came home and I got in the bed. I think he came home and opened the door and just looked at me. I don't remember what happened, but that's what happened. My dad did come up to senior prom to tell me to come home, but I'm always 1 step ahead. People tip me off. Rosep, the realtor, thank you for the follow. So it's about being bold. And this realtor, thank you for the follow. So it's about being bold. And this is how you be bold. You just have to sometimes do things your way. Sometimes you just have to know that you know the best outcome for you. And everything is working out. Like, stop doubting yourself or believing that there wouldn't be a positive outcome. Because you don't have to build like this fairy tale outcome. You could just assume that the outcome will be positive. Why would I assume that it's negative? Why would I assume that I'll get robbed? Why would I assume someone will steal my car? Why would I assume anything bad would come to me? Nah, he wasn't checking on me. He came to pick me up and like drag me out. I wasn't going to let that happen. Are you serious? No. If my dad is here, he's out. No. I had to do that. Imagine that. I still went to prom and still got out before he could get me. And I still got the picture. I still got the picture. And the story is, people at the school knew. They were like, Hope's dad came. It's all in the story. And knowing that it's your story. It's your story. My fun Jay is here. Thank you for the follow. And Ashley Camper 985. Thank you for the follow. When I go live, you see, um, I had those friends because I have always had. I've never wanted for anything, and I used to. I used to shop a lot. Actually, that's probably why I don't shop as much. I remember my friends saying, "You're going shopping again?" Like I am just continuing the happiness that I've had during the time at home. We are you that is that warm. I don't understand TikTok Yorkies. Please clarify. So I used to like freestyle with this girl at my school who was her first car was the Lexus RX when it first came out. Like when the Lexus SUV first came out, it was so fresh because there wasn't really many luxury SUVs in the late 90s or early 2000s. So, hola, hola. It was fresh because she had that in high school, and we would kind of rap sometimes. And I remember her first car was actually that old Volvo, that old Volvo station wagon, but those are great cars. I would buy one of those, like a vintage Volvo station wagon. Those are great cars. And they just remind me of safety and like soccer moms and PTA. Like there's something very happy and safe about the Volvo station wagon. Happy and safe about the Volvo station wagon. It never brings fear. No one ever sees, like, you see a Crown Vic, like a Crown Victoria or a Caprice. You may not always have warm feelings, but if you see a Volvo, you may not always have warm feelings. But if you see a Volvo station wagon, you never think I'm in danger. And someone was speaking about this Sacramento, and I have a niece who's graduating this year from California State, Sacramento. And when I would have layovers as a flight attendant, I would say, hey, come stay with me in my hotel. I stay downtown. Come stay with me during my layover. We'll get room service. We'll go out to eat. We'll thrift shop. We'll, you get to kick it with the flight attendants. Come stay with me. Or when my sister lived in Modesto, which isn't far from Sacramento, I would tell her, I'm laying over. Come hang out. I'm laying over for like 2 days. Come hang out. So my oldest sister, drove up to Sacramento and stayed with me. And we're familiar with Sacramento. All of those parts were my dad's running ground. And he was the first person, this was almost like a thing on my dad's tribute that I didn't put this, but I'll clarify. My father was the first person to open a Pontiac dealership in Modesto, California. And this was like in the 70s. And on his tribute, my sister believed you should have put he was the first African American to open a Pontiac dealership. And I said, yeah, but he's the first person, period. Like, first Pontiac dealership. And I said, yeah, but he's the first person, period. Like, first. There's no one else. So, like, he's just the first person. And I understand the weight of both. But my understanding is if you're the first, you're just the first. Like, you're the first person, period. No one else had a car dealership of any background. And how often, sometimes that leverage of weight of that thought maybe takes away from the beauty of what it could be. Meaning, the first is the first. But let's kick that out, because that's even dumb. This was the first person who graduated in my family. So what? So the second person is like stupid? Like, okay, great. Someone's going to be the first. However, it's the fact that you did it. It's the fact that you did it. No one says this is the 18th person that did it. I understand you're the first, but yeah, so what? Second, third, first, eighth, 10th, so what? Take the first out of it, because the fact that you did it is the point. And most of the time, there are things in life that you will not be the first at. So just take the weight off of it. What's up, Jarvis? So he had a car dealership and he used to run the streets up there. That's where he had a motorcycle, and he was quite successful, and then found his way to his Lord Jesus Christ Savior and found a beautiful, nice, kind country girl and started a different life. So my sister comes to stay with me in Sacramento, and we decide to go out to eat and then go out. So we go out to, I don't know what type of club it was. It was some type of place. I think she even, that's beautiful. A bee just landed on my phone. And bees, and I learned this from, what's up, from Hattie's Bees. I follow her. She's an amazing content creator that is a, she gives so much knowledge on bees. And bees don't come around you unless you're like a happy, vibrant person. They feel frequencies, they feel energy, and they won't be around you if you're aggravated or mean. And Hattie's Bees, I'm talking about Hattie's Bees, the creator, she got into beekeeping for that after coming out of the service. So she started beekeeping due to their therapeutic benefits. So shout out to Hattie's Bees, amazing content creator in Florida. And check her out, check her out, check her out. So my sister, we go out to eat and we go out to some place. I don't know where it is. I don't know. It's kind of in the cuts. I think we drove to Oakland. It was like ridiculous. And we went out to a place where I know that they had Polaroids in the back. Like you could go take a Polaroid. It was like a club, but this was maybe, when was this? This was maybe before I left. I don't know. Anyway, the club had people taking Polaroids in the back, and it was a club, and I think it was in Oakland. My sister drove us there. We went. I guess it was a fun time because I can have fun anywhere. And then as we were leaving, my sister has this boat Cadillac. She had like a DeVille. And I've always loved a coupe de ville because my grandmother had, I believe, a 1978 Cadillac coupe de ville with the 2 doors. It was like a long boat. It was so luxurious back in that day, and the leather, which would like burn because this area of California is so hot that like, I love leather, and I love the improvement of leather that now you can have like your leather cooled. So my granny had a coupe de ville, uh, with a great heat. Yeah, she bought it brand new. My granny had a Coupe de Ville. So my sister had a newer one. She had like the recent ones. And as we're going to the car, this is at night, so it might have been like 2 in the morning. We're walking to the car, and my sister at the time has worked in the correctional field. So we get in the car, and I'm always on the lookout because the thing is, nothing bad, nothing negative always comes to me, period. However, I'm well aware of what's going on. I'm well aware of what's going on. And we're in a car, we're in this new Cadillac. It's 2 in the morning, it's at night, we're up in Oakland, wherever we're at. My sister's in the car, dilly-dallying with, I don't know, whatever she's doing, probably her phone. And I'm looking out the window because this is sometimes when people act up. And as I said, I've been in these streets and in these skies for a long time, so I'm aware. So I'm looking out, and as I'm looking into the side mirror, I see some people like running up. But they were into the side mirror. I see some people like running up. But they were, I'm not going to, listen, I'm not going to wait for this to happen. The best idea is to leave. The best idea is to leave. So we skirted off. So that was what I remembered, one of my stories about Sacramento when we were almost carjacked. But we weren't, because I have situational awareness and how important situational awareness is. But I always know I'm okay. I always know I'm okay. I'm never looking for a negative situation to happen. I'm actually only aware of what's happening and not labeling it, not saying this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. No, this is just this. It's neutral. Verton C. Gray, thank you for the follow. So sometimes these things happen, and then I'm like, yeah, you got me for the follow. So sometimes these things happen, and then I'm like, yeah, you got me of what you've been doing. Just try that, because I shared this in my of what you've been doing. Just try that. Because I shared this in my live last. They're great, but they're horrible in winter. I don't want to be in London, in New York, in Paris in winter. Blech. I mean, it's okay, but Hawaii is better. If I have the choice, and I made a diligent choice, I just feel better and better. If I have the choice, and I made a diligent choice, I just feel better in the same want. There's a filter what it takes to constantly show up every day, because I've quit in the past. That was the past. That has nothing to do with this moment. Everything's different now. You are different now. Be different. Be different. That's it. And the more often you are different and become different and make different choices, it just becomes your idea. Become different and make different choices, it just becomes your identity. And then it's not difference, it's just you. Bonjour. Identity. And then it's not difference, it's just you. Bonjour. Ça va? Oui. Then it's not difference, it's just you. Bonjour. Ça va? Oui. And because I'm not defined by that, this is me. I show up differently. I do show up. Because I'm not defined by that, this is me. I show up differently. I do show up. I can hold myself accountable. I do show up. I can hold myself accountable. I do the consistent work. I show up every day. It is me. And because of that, I'm here. And today, it is me. And because of that, I'm here. And say I can transmute that into some sort of energy to benefit me. And that can be used with anything in life. So that's why you often see people after breakups go through these enormous changes, because they take that heartbreak or that discomfort or pain or whatever that is. And what's up, Bossman 204? That heartbreak or that discomfort or pain or whatever that is. And what's up, Bossman 2041? Diamond. They take that and they move it to a place of I'm working out. And they move it to a place of I'm working out. I'm eating better. And it's simply that same feeling. I'm working out. I'm eating better. And it's simply that same feeling just moved into a different location, almost like Tetris. Could be energy, moving energy. It could be a direction of focus. So instead of focusing on this, I'm focusing on that. But it's still transmuting energy. It's shifting. It's using something and making it something beneficial for you. Sometimes when you're completely done with something, like I'm done with this, you make rapid transformation, because that doneness is like I'm doing whatever it takes to get out of this, to change this. And I witnessed that, because that doneness is like I'm doing whatever it takes to get out of this, to change this. And I witnessed that. I witnessed that for myself, from what grief is, and move that into a space of just of benefit. And it's power of just of benefit. And it's power. This could be in a space of, thank you, Blue Live, for the follow, of chanting or meditating to quiet your space, quiet your mind, allow transformation, and allow alignment to be the space of a channel, your channel, which is your body. We're always, it could be called channeling, it could be called blessing, it could be called luck, it could be called just a good feeling. I believe it's that same thing with just different labels. And we all have the ability. However, it is our ability to find how it works for us individually. It is your journey. And there's a beauty. It is your journey. And there's a beauty of having that confidence, trusting others do. Nothing, and there's a beauty of having that confidence, trusting others do. Nothing bothers me. Why? It's not of me. It's the other person. It's how they perceive me. But because I walk with, and I'm human, there's also that. I'm always compassionate with myself, so I'm compassionate with others. I don't carry the thought of someone actively seeking to disservice me. I never believe someone did that purposely to make me upset. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm alive. I let it go and I go on with life. I don't carry daily occurrences with me. Let it go. Because you will always have daily occurrences. And I still don't understand that about people allowing what others think changing their mood. Because then your whole life is really hard. Because that's one constant thing in life. All of us are seeing life in a different way. So if you are your baseline, I'm happy with me, I'm content, I like my outfit. Okay. So if someone comes and says, I don't like your outfit, that's okay. Okay. Sure. But that's okay. Okay. Sure. But what does that have to do with me? You not liking my outfit has nothing to do with me. You actually telling me doesn't bring any benefit, so it's neutral. It doesn't matter. I like my outfit. That's what cares. That's what matters. That's what matters. So people don't annoy me. Plus, being a flight attendant, I had to grow wings. Like, y'all just get annoyed at so much and carry around this anger. Like, life is easy. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? What is there to be angry about? Let it go. Stop allowing your anger to define you in every way. And why be angry? If it's taught you something, let it go. If you don't even know you're angry, well, stop there. Ask, am I angry? Are you clenching your shoulders? Is your neck tense? Is your digestion off? Are you always holding your abs? Tap in and see, oh my gosh, relax. That saying relax, actually, whew, relax into that. You're holding it, and you always are. It's uncomfortable. Taking a breath. None of this matters, actually. Just like what matters is you feeling good in you. What's up, the God particle? And so beautiful. I know. I journal to see the beauty in every aspect, in every way in life. I know. I journal to see the beauty in every aspect, in every way in life. I know. I journal to see the beauty in every aspect, in every way in life. I don't, so because of that, us, we're doing it. We're doing it, and with pleasure, Pilot Polone. Ezron Finlay, thank you for the follow. So subscribe to my YouTube, and I come on here and I talk, and it can be, I say a speaker, really, it's really not a category. The fact that I tell a story is for you to come listen, because stories are meant to be heard, and maybe there's something to learn in the story. So I'm a storyteller, and I love to speak and encourage and sit in the sun. And after this, I will tan, because while the sun is out, while the sun is beaming, while the sun is the brightest, while the sun is shining right here on me, I'll have to tan. You got to tan. So as soon as I sign off, I am going to strip down and tan naked so I have no tan lines, and it is the best. I'm going to strip down and tan naked so I have no tan lines, and it is the best from an infinite source of love. We really do. And I'm shining. I need to get my oil, so when I tan, I oil up. Show up. Now, I won't be showing up this weekend because I don't speak on the weekends. Sometimes show up. Now, I won't be showing up this weekend because I don't speak on the weekends. Sometimes I do, but as a show up. Now, I won't be showing up this weekend because I don't speak on the weekends. Sometimes I do, but as a general. So I think over here there's better. I got juicy. There we go. So I was saying, be the reflection of love because you come from an infinite source of love. Show up. I won't be showing up this weekend, but I'll still show up on YouTube. I don't show up. Thank you, York. Nice to always read your comments across the screen. really see the beauty in you. Like, take that for the weekend, for whatever it means. Truly stop to think about the beauty that is uniquely you. That's more than your body. That's more than your face. That's more than your hair. That's more than your style. The beauty that is you. Sit with that this weekend. Meditate with that. See what that brings to you. And I know it will bring some beauty to you. And it will feel good. It will feel good. I will see you Monday. Look, those are the oranges I picked that I will juice. I know you can see the rolls. What rolls, Hawk? Hawk? I don't understand that. Oh, the rolls in my abdominal. Let's see. Let's see, Hawk, if what you were saying is true. Because you said rolls in my, where? Where's the, I don't know what you're talking about, Hawk. And it was nice that you tried, but come on, baby. Don't come on. We're going to end it there. Goodbye.